I suppose. I mean, I don't intend to spend my entire career making movies that are all about romance. These are just the two movies that came out of me first. I like a mixture of comedy and drama because I feel like that's what life is. It's comedic and it's dramatic. It's funny. It's sad. Um, and I don't know that the movies are. There's certainly romantic elements, and there's certainly people who are. I think it's more about people who are longing to connect with each other, who are afraid to connect but also want to connect. But the movies are also about friendship, and about mentorship, and about both movies, I think. So they're about a number of things, but the the heart of them, there are these romances. But it's a if it's done well, it's wonderful to watch romance in a movie. A lot of times you're doing things unconsciously, like you're not intending to do something. I didn't mean to write two tales about uh, people with wide gaps in age, but I do think it's interesting to look at what divides us and what also can pull us together. And um, I suppose both parts that I played in the movies had these relationships where they were seemingly different. There's a great difference between the two people, mostly age, um, but it was also where both of those stories are where the character finds true connection and true. They learn about themselves. Both people, both even Zibby and the boy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's an interesting observation. I think someone pointed out that my films always have a mentor where someone's mentoring someone and then that person mentors someone else, and that's how I see life in some ways, is people are lifting us up, and so we're being lifted, and then we turn around and we're also lifting up other people. So there's this constant interplay between someone helping you and you helping someone else, and I think if you have been helped, it's incumbent upon you to then help someone else. Keep the cycle going. I
Observation
haven't
or
seen many of those movies. I saw one Edward Burns movie.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a Kevin Smith movie.
No.
No.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to say that I haven't been influenced by them. Um, and I can't say who they've been influenced by, but maybe similar people. I draw less from other movies than I do from maybe books I've read or um, friendships I have, encounters with people. I'm trying to not be influenced as much by other movies, to be referential to other movies, as much as I am trying to draw something from life that feels very real to me. And I'm basically, my only guiding light when I'm writing a movie and creating a movie is, would I want to see this movie? Would this be a movie that I would call one of my favorite movies, that I would want to buy the soundtrack to, that I would want to tell all my friends to go see it, that I would go see it more than once? Those are the kind of movies I'm trying to create, the ones that are... I remember when I saw Pieces of April. Did you ever see that movie with the Katie Holmes movie?
Yes.
Patty Clarkson is in it. I think she got an Oscar nomination. And it's a beautiful, very small independent film. And I remember I saw it twice in one weekend. And Stephen, what's his name, from the Magnetic Fields did all the music. It was just a movie that worked, I thought, completely, and was so emotionally moving. And so those are the kinds of movies that for me feel like they just feel like life. That's what I'm going for, with a little bit of a heightened quality. Life plus a little bit more. It depends. My favorite place to act is still the theater, so um, that's a great joy for me, and I hope to do more of that. I would love to continue acting in movies, but right now what's most exciting for me is the writing and directing. Certainly, it just feels like it draws on more of me, and if I had to retire from acting tomorrow, I think I could do that with some measure of peace, because I've done quite a bit. Whereas the writing and directing feels new, and like there's more to explore. Yeah, I don't think in terms of a movement. I don't know. I feel like my show has a very fresh and interesting way of being comedic, and which feels both like it's tipping its hat to old traditions and also doing something new, both narratively and comedically. So I'm happy to be a part of that. In terms of movies I want to write, I can appreciate those bigger comedies that are a little more broad, but it's not really my taste when I'm creating things. I don't know exactly how to do that. I'm much more interested in smaller moments or observing things that feel a little more like little moments that actually have very big implications. Um, and I mean, my style or my tone is close to what my two movies have been. That's not to say I wouldn't experiment with other styles. I certainly would, and I hope to. Um, well, we were taught in grad school by a wonderful teacher named Ron Van Loo that every character is a 50% meeting between you and your character. So 50% is you, 50% is the character. So I lend my characters a lot of myself. I lend them my physicality, my voice, my worldview, my rhythms, my sense of humor, all sorts of things. But then there's a whole host of other things that have nothing to do with me, but I try to play them honestly. And I think it's a good sign if people feel some sort of familiarity with you, or that they know you through your work. I think that means that there's an honest connection going on. I hope that's what that means. But you know, certain things about, for instance, the character I play on TV is feel very far from me, but I try to play him as honestly as I can and let him be as silly and lovable and wonderful and horrible as I can make him.